What is good, guys? It is Hack. How are we? Back on YouTube with a beautiful trade recap. Let's talk about it. Yesterday, for a single account, like just in one account, I want to say 5 bands is the biggest P&L I've had in one day on a funded account. Now, this trade was beautiful, and I want you guys to really understand that trading is a confluence game. Now, let's start off with this, right? Think about a basketball player or whatever sport you guys play, have played. Just I'm going to talk about basketball because basketball is like my favorite sport. Say I see a basketball player that's really good at shooting, but he can't ball handle. He's not good. He's not good inside. He's not good finishing around the rim. He doesn't have a good IQ, but he can shoot, right? I know that he's kind of one-dimensional, and that's about all he can do. I know that he's probably decent. It's going to give him a decent chance at maybe playing college or NBA, but he's not going to be like he lacks in a lot of places. You have to think about your confluences in the markets in the same way. If you lack confluences and only have 2-3 confluences, there's 2-3 things that you can find and you take setups off of that. You have to understand that your probabilities of actually becoming a successful trader over time are going to be low. But if a basketball player, if he's the full package, right, like for my NBA fans, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, he basically can do everything. This trade is like an example of all the confluences that I have put into one. This trade could do everything. That's why we sized up to 2 minis and made 5 bands. You know what I'm saying? I want you guys to understand that. I'm going to be recording or posting the recording of this trade playing out probably in like 5, 6, 7x speed on social media and stuff. But I wanted to come on here and definitely make the trade recap and kind of break this down. So yesterday, I'll show you really quick just the 30-minute gap that really drove this trade as far as this obviously going up to the VWAP and seeing price chop around that area and everything. But yeah, let's just talk about the confluences here. So I was bearish yesterday. I wanted the market to go lower. We went lower. We had a V-shaped recovery. And then into open, we got a very nice manipulative 930 wick that became one of our targets, as well as an 830 wick. So now we have 2 great wicks to use as our targets to target back down. So we went right into the 30-minute gap. We chopped. I was like, all right, I'm not going to get caught up in this. I sit on the 5-minute. You see all this. You got a 5-minute gap forming. You're trading towards the VWAP, holding a 5-minute gap. I trade VWAP rejections and then bounces off the VWAP. So I'm not going to take a trade for us to go through the VWAP. That goes against my strategy. I'm not going to do something like that. So we're seeing good strength. We're trading into a bearish gap, but we're leaving behind a 5-minute gap and we're closing bodies above the EMA. So I was like, this is not for me. I'm not going to trade this. Got off the live stream with the crew there, and I was like, okay, we're not going to trade this. I'm sitting at my desk doing some work, and I see this setup start to form. And I said, if this 5-minute gap gets inversed, let alone leave behind another 5-minute gap, we are going to take this and we're going to bang this trade. Pause. And that's exactly what we did. And all the confluences right here, let's run right down the list. As I always talk about my A+ entry criteria, the higher time frame driving the lower time frame, VWAP and EMAs having an impact, cross, confirmation, a 5-minute, a 15-minute, or a 30-minute gap, or multiple, or an FEG or IFEG, and then a clear draw on liquidity for price, or 2 clear draws, and key volume targets to take our trade off of. So we took this trade off the 30-second 1-minute confirmation. I will just stay on the 5-minute to show you this example. 30-minute bearish gap, as I said, you get a 5-minute inverse right here as this candle closes lower, taps back up. 5-minute inverse as well as this 5-minute fair value gap. Absolutely beautiful as we get structured to close under the 8 here, and then this next 5-minute candle closes under the 21, leaves behind a 5-minute gap. We get our manipulation. My original stop was actually about 45 points, about 2.8 R. But I entered right here as soon as we got manipulation twice and rejected twice as this body continued to close under both EMAs. I got in on this impulse move back towards the gap now that we already tapped into both the inverse and the regular gap. So I went like this with my stop. Put it down. This is about 4 RR. It was actually, it was closer to that. So about 4.6 R. We have our draws on liquidities. We have our 930 wick. We have our 830 wick. And then, just the EMAs turning down. Bodies starting to close under both EMAs right here. We get our manipulation. Trendline liquidity as a last confluence. I don't really use it as a leading confluence. But as a clear confluence, it really helps me place my stop loss when we have trendline liquidity because we continue to reject the same areas that also happen to be the EMAs downshifting. So, this was absolutely beautiful. You guys will see the recordings all over my social medias of this trade breaking down. Definitely, like I said, one of my biggest trades, probably my biggest trade just in one single P&L on one single funded account. Amazing trade. Beautiful. A plus. I mean, there's no other way to say it. Let's just do the count here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Technically 2 draw liquidities, but we'll say 4. Like I said, this one. So 5. EMA is turning down 6. VWAP 7. Turn on liquidity confirmation 8. Like 7 to 8 confluences there. That is ridiculous. That is A plus plus plus. That is a beautiful setup that I will size up on every single time. I will risk about $800 to make $5 there every single time. Like, that is a beautiful setup, and that is why we trade. We trade to see our A+++ present like that. So that was yesterday's trade. Pretty clean. Today, Wednesday, April 29th, FOMC day. Jay Powell's last FOMC, bro. It's a sad day. But anyway, this is kind of, I'll just show you the Discord, kind of how it went. Literally a 37-second session on my funded. We got this breakdown at open. Again, I read structure well. I had my plan. Into today, I'm not expecting too much as the market awaits FOMC. See clear reasoning for both sides, so def for neutral and passive environment. Like I said, pretty passive environment, and then just took this trade at open. Very, very low risk, like literally 4 micros, just targeting base hits on a few accounts. And yeah, that was basically it. Lane, I gave hack the signal. Meanwhile, I was already waiting for the short. Nah, but W Lane. Shout out my boy Lane. But yeah. Pretty clean, guys. Really, really good stuff here. And then now we see what the market's doing now. I did tell the Discord as well, if I scroll down a little more, just in this one channel. I kind of give some breakdowns. For people that aren't in my Discord, I give some breakdowns throughout the session, what I'm thinking in the chats, if you're not able to join live trading. But yeah, really good session. I talked about 952 here, 959. Probably chop around 10, 15 minutes in this area. That is exactly what the market ended up doing. If you look from about 10 to about 10:30, look at this, like literally just the 230s down to the 180s. I said 190s, but close enough, 185s. And then eventually made a move back up, left this high here. We'll probably try to take this. We inverse this 5-minute. But yeah, that was the trade. Hope you guys enjoyed that trade recap. A lot more content, more psychology stuff coming on YouTube, because that's really my favorite stuff. But yeah, beautiful trade. I had to make a video about this trade. Hope you guys understand how you stack that many confluences, you are bound to succeed. And if you take this many trades with 4, 5, 6 confluences, you are going to be a winner. 5, 6, 7, 8 confluences, honestly, is perfect for how I trade my strategy. I think that's the best. But yeah, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this recap. God bless you all. Peace.